for those of you who are watching, who are on Facebook, you may have seen like the 5G posts. There's a lot of like fear mongering related content being shared on 5G wireless technology, being all types of things, being ranging from mind control to cancer causing to all the things people don't want, right? There's all this projection put onto the technology. Um, and using the Bashar teachings, we can start to like understand the perspective that these technologies are neutral and that the way we are affected by these technologies is going to be filtered and mediated through our own beliefs of them. So if we're looking at it like this is an apocalypse, this is a harmful thing, then like that's the effect we're going to derive. And I look at the 5G implementation and the fear associated with it as a massive challenge for people that are co-creating the reality, but not in like a bad way, like a really good way. I look at this as one of the most amazing things to be able to reverse engineer in terms of belief systems. So if we can believe that wireless technology, that our cell phones, that whatever is bad for us, we also can flip it and believe these things could actually be beneficial. And I'm not telling people to like, go jump into an EMF field, like, because that's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is the technology is a part of our society. We're gonna have to use it. We're gonna have to, live with it in certain ways because it's here, right? Like we're so interwoven with this stuff. So to create belief systems of the positives, really, this technology allows me to connect to other people across the world. This technology, and essentially, I mean, I don't want to impose beliefs, like create whatever you want. But that's one of the main ideas, is that we can change our beliefs about the technology and even reverse engineer it to believe that technology can be beneficial to us in a non-invasive way. And also, I wanted to relate it to Bashar's society, where Sassani as a planet has those moon-like structures orbiting the planet that are essentially calibrating the society's energy and the planet's energy in a harmonic way. And to then, if we want to, on Earth, create our own belief systems about our technology being able to do the same thing, essentially to initiate like a jump in parallel realities from a reality where, these EMFs are bad and they're harmful, to a reality where we as a society have beneficial technology, where maybe like our wireless frequencies are being recalibrated to be actually like therapeutic. Because I believe that can be done, and those are real therapies that exist now. Pulsed electromagnetic therapy exists, and it's very powerful for healing the body. So I see no reason those types of things can't be implemented on a wide scale thing in a beneficial way. So I just wanted to say that I think that the 5G thing is a major challenge for consciousness explorers and all of people on this type of path to be able to overcome. In terms of letting go of the fear, letting go of apocalypse-based fears or health-related fears, and to move into that realm of like, okay, like nothing can actually destroy me, and I can create whatever reality I want at all moments. So I see the 5G thing being reflective of essentially some of the most masterful level of co-creation that I think people have had to deal with, because it's such a collective thing, right? It's like, I mean, the stuff's supposed to be everywhere apparently, so it's like what a better opportunity. Like I can't think of a better opportunity to create something beautiful out of something that is so negatively projected onto.
Yeah, there's so much energy around it, and if you just look at it neutrally, there's so much potential with all that energy if it can be used in a positive way. And after we neutralize it, from the fear-based perception of it.
Yeah.
Another thing I would like to add is, Bashar said on the structure of existence that using the Gaia frequency, I forget what the number is, but frequency of the Earth can also help to balance out negative effects of the EMFs. So.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, that's a powerful thing to tune into, and I've noticed that in my own spiritual practice too. Like I'll do a form of meditation that's very earth-based. You're in like kind of a martial arts stance, and you're just like literally breathing in like a sip with your inhales. You're like, and you're literally packing the earth's energy into like the spine and into parts of the body to actually insulate the earth into your organs and stuff. And I noticed an intense difference in how I'd feel around not only other people but also technology. Like you feel like ultra grounded, and yeah, just to reinforce that, like the Earth totally is a massive level of not of pretty much resonance, right? If you harmonize with the Earth, like it's almost like nothing can uproot you. You're like a tree, you know?
Mm-hmm. So do you do that when you're actually moving in the martial arts, or is it more of a meditative sitting type of thing? Or
So what I use, I actually have a book on it I can pull off my shelf. I use, do I have it here? I might not actually have a copy of the book. Oh, here it is. I use this. So it is it's called Iron Shirt, and it comes from essentially a religion called Taoism from China, and it was used traditionally for martial artists to pack their organs with energy. So if they got punched, the energy would take the blow instead of the organ. But essentially, meditators started liking it because it grounds you. So if you ever want to astral travel, your physical body's so insulated with the earth, you won't, leak energy. You'll be able to remain rooted and then project yourself. So I do this in the morning. It's recommended you get a teacher, someone who knows the techniques, because like you can do it wrong, and because you're manipulating your breath and it's very like multi-layered. So if you have a short attention span or you're new to the techniques, you definitely can mess yourself up if you're not careful. I've done it before. Yeah, I've definitely done that. Yeah.
You just got kind of out of whack or out of balance or something?
Yeah, totally. Well, what I ended up doing was I started messing up my breathing, because you have to like I was saying, you kind of sip in the air and little like 10% inhales. You're like, when you're doing those inhales, you're supposed to descend the diaphragm, because when you do the inhales, the diaphragm naturally wants to rise up. And then what happens is you're not breathing fully. So all of the energy actually gets stuck up in the chest, and it can congest in the upper region if you're not keeping the diaphragm descended. So for a while I was doing these techniques, and I kept having like just hyperactivity, nervous energy. And what was happening was all the energy was getting stuck up at the heart, which is like the root of, they say it's the root of consciousness, So I was pretty much overstimulating my heart through not doing the techniques right. And then when I started getting them more accurate, they started producing tremendous benefits. So yeah, it's like any tool, right? If you use the hammer backwards, you're not going to be able to get the nail into the wood.
Yeah. But you didn't need to get a teacher to figure it out.
So ironically, this is what I found out. The more in tune I got with myself, the more I naturally started to understand the techniques.
Okay.
So when I was out of balance, I found the techniques would reflect that. Like when I was using negative belief systems for my reality, the techniques wouldn't flow smooth. And as soon as I made those positive shifts, it was just like I was getting downloads on how to use them. And I did recruit a teacher who I can, if people are interested in these techniques, I can refer the teacher. Fantastic individual, very advanced. He's mysterious in that sense, because he's older, but he looks like he's 20, and that's how you know it's working. Yeah.
So you met him personally or online or?
Online. But I do know one of his friends who lives in New Haven personally. She's also trained in this, but I haven't worked with her. I've worked with him through Skype sessions.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for sharing all of this, and I think we'll head on over and do the channeling session now if you're ready. Unless there's anything.
That's about it. I think I'm ready for sure.
Okay, I'm gonna start a separate video for that just in case.
Sure thing.
All right.